Alrighty, I think we're alive. Just starting up the old tablet. I know it's pretty late. Eastern Standard Time is 10:30 at night, but it's a weekend, you know. So I hope a lot of you catch this a little later in the next day or days, whatnot. As the title suggests, yes, I'll be talking about commissions. I'll probably will be repeating myself as people may or may not come in. All right, let's talk about what's on this board here. So to your left of the screen, it is 14 by 20 inch watercolor paper glued on foam board. So very sturdy, very light. All right. As you can see, the shapes, I'll be doing a couple of poppies, and I got one rose up there. They'll be pretty much stylized and all of that good stuff. All right. Okie dokie. Still waiting for my it's not going to come on, so it looks like I'll be looking over here to the left, as well as to my right. We'll try it again. Now my phone catches it immediately. My tablet is a little bit long in the tooth, so you know it might need some help here. Don't know why. She's acting a little difficult, but she is. Everything seems to be working all right with it. So I don't know why it's acting like that, so I'll just go here. I may have to turn it down. Yeah, hold on. I gotta turn it down, way down. All right. Okay. So I guess I could share this out to my page. Let's see what I can do here with this. It's easier for the phone. It's not there, not that way. Oh, hello, Marilyn. How are you? I'm going to be talking about commissions. I'm trying to share this to my page, and oh, there it is. I'll share it to my news feed. Oh, now it wants to come on. Of course. There, I posted it. We're good to go. Now my tablet wants to come on. Slow, but it wants to come on. But that's all right, as long as I get it there. If I get it there, we're good to go. Now it wants to play. I guess it gets jealous when I use the phone. It's happened more than once. So we'll see what's going on with it. If it catches it, we're good. I gotta turn the phone off. I guess we're okay. I'm trying to wait to see if the chat comes up there. Hello, Shane. How are you? Got 4 people watching. Nobody put a thumbs up yet, but then again, I guess I haven't done anything to cause for a thumbs to be up. Okay, I can get out of this. Okay, we're going to talk about commissions. I had a very good buddy of mine chat with me for a little bit. He was a little sad and everything because it didn't quite work out for him. It's good to see you, Shane, Marilyn. commissions, you know, when you do them and people ask you for them, you kind of put yourself out there, you know, you do the best you can, and you stand that chance of it not coming through or might not be good enough for them. You know, each person is their own separate entity, you know, so it's kind of a little bit of a risk factor doing them. You know, you got to kind of have faith in yourself, and a little confidence, knowing that, you know, you're going to do the very best that you can. Okay, I'll be more talking about this subject than me really talking about me painting this, because I'm just painting this just to paint it, and I'm more interested in really just talking to you about this. Okay, so I'm putting on glycerin, if you don't know. And you know, when you do them, everybody has their own way and own method of doing commissions, you know, depending on what it is, what the subject is. You know, if it's animals or plants or whatnot, you know, you're pretty much got your own little reign to it, you know. When it comes to portraits and thank you, appreciate it, Shay. When it comes to portraits, and I've recently done one, you know, you gotta really have faith in yourself that you can do it right. I really packed on the glycerin here, a little more than I should probably, but it's okay. It's all right. You know, so we're gonna just throw on some colors for right now. Let me just throw it in there. And I'm gonna just toss some colors in there. Probably more with the blues and the greens, really. And I'll blend them in later. So sometimes, you know, you'll do you do something for somebody, and like I say, what if, you know, you don't quite get it right or whatnot? Rejection is a hurtful thing. Some people, you know, can handle it fairly well, because, you know, it kind of comes with the territory of doing works. Some people cannot, or they have a rough time with it, more or less, you know. Like I say, each person is their own separate individual, so, you know, it really depends on you know, on that gut strength that you have. You know, some people can be quite traumatized by it also. It's something, you know, each person would have to work out amongst themselves, but don't let it really overly discourage you. Try not to let it discourage you much. And that's the best you can do, really, is just to try and not let it really defeat you. Okay. I think I'll throw some grays in here. I'm gonna darken it up as we go along. So before it totally dries up, I'll start to softly blend this stuff in. The background, this is just, you know, almost like pre-background stuff there. There'll be things in here. I just want to put some background color in. So, you know, once again, you just do it the best of your ability. When people say yes to commissions, then all of a sudden that little bit of nervousness and fear kicks in and everything. You got to keep in mind, if they like what you're doing and it wasn't a commission, you pretty much do it in that same way, same style that you did when it wasn't a commission. Just relax, get your favorite beverage, put on some music, your favorite music of choice, and go for what you know, really. It's basically how you go about it, you know. And have fun. That's the main thing, really, is to enjoy it and to have fun, You know, when you get a commission, you get a set price that you both agree on. Now, when you do commissions, now it's a job. It's not arts and crafts time. Yeah, it's actually something you have. It's a task you got to perform. So it kind of brings it into a different realm now when you do them. It's like, say, if fun and games is over, it's now actual job. It's now actual work. So, and once it goes into that realm of an actual, you got to actually do something, you know, to get that money. You know, you kind of brings things into a different perspective, you know. Like I say, it's a building up process, what I'm doing with the background. I know I have to put some darks in there. Blending of the colors is fine. Like I said, this is just strictly background. I'll put other interesting things in here. You need effective dark to show off the light. All right. Not quite dark enough over there, but it will do. Mix in a little bit of love, put it in the corner here, like that. Yes, I usually do the two-hand thing when I'm off camera, if I gotta do something of this nature. Match that color in there like that. And I'll just kind of put it down there and fade it like that. Now I got a fan going if you don't hear it. So I kind of have to work briskly because the fan's blowing on the paint and it will kind of tack up and dry on me, which is also fine. It's all, I'm gonna put stuff on top of this, so it doesn't really matter. All right, you don't have confidence enough yet. Well, you start off with, you do a painting, you start off with family and friends if they show interest in it. Some of them, you just have to give away. Friends have friends, they see the painting hanging on the wall, they want to ask who did it and whatnot. And that's how, you get your clientele built up. Shane, you're ridiculous. Your stuff can easily be sold for quite a pretty penny, actually. Your stuff is magnificent. And painting animals, that's always a plus. That's always a seller. The cuter the creature, the more they'll seem to disappear off the rack. All right, I highly doubt I'll use this big brush again. We're gonna go for the smaller brushes, brush strokes and whatnot. Okay, so as I'm chatting with you, I'm still gonna get to work on this thing. Larger canvas, slightly larger brushes. All right. Okay, we'll start putting some greenery in here and whatnot, what have you. I'll kind of put it over here. Put a little bit of red and green. We'll darken it up a little bit. And I will be using probably quite a bit of glycerin. More like background stuff. Anyway, so once again, doing commissions and things like that is now a business. So you have to treat it as such. Okay. You do have to treat them as a business. All right. Nothing personal. It's, it is what it is. It's a business. Give the client what they are looking for. Do it to the best of your ability as you can. And hopefully, you get a pretty buck out of it and a good experience. Hopefully. One could only hope. You know. So. And that's the best you can do. Best you can ask for. You know. And once again, they like it. Other people see it. You know, people go over other people's houses. And they're going to ask who was the artist, who did that. Gee, I love it, blah, 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 blah. You know. And once again, that's how it builds up. So. I'll slap a little white in there. It's mixing in with the brown and whatnot. Like I say, it's just background things. Just chilling out, hanging in there, doing this thing. Just like that. Just some things hanging up in there. Have them crisscross, do whatever. Don't worry about, you're gonna always get those naysayers. You know, I've got stuff rejected. It comes with the territory. Don't hold it to heart. Please don't. For every one person that does not like it, trust me, you got about 12 or 13 more that absolutely adore what you do. I know I do. I think it's fantastic. Little red, little green, put a little blue in there. We'll kind of yellow it up a little bit. It's got this weird funky brown thing happening here. Okay. And then we'll start sketching in some. Now these guys are going to be, they don't look like they're in the background, but they will be. I can actually soften some of those up too, if I need to, but I might not really have to. We'll see. We'll put one here. We'll kind of put a leaf right in there like that, and we'll kind of throw them in. I'll throw them in here, just the general shapes. We'll fine tune all that a little bit later. We'll throw one in there like that. Probably pop one in here in the corner with this crazy looking color. It's all right. I'll turn it, do whatever, get it pretty. Some interesting things going on there. Like I say, the long stroke leaves are in the background. I'll probably pop another fella right here, just like that. And he's kind of off the page. It's all right. I'll put him in there like that. He'll be all right. It'll work its way. Get a little glycerin. I'll smooth out this color, loosen it a little bit. I got a this is a flat brush, but it's an angled brush. I don't really do large brushes like this, but these flowers are a little king sized, so I can kind of get away with it. So. Well, I'm a middle-aged black guy painting flowers, so where's that put me? It's all right. Don't make, listen, consider it an honor that someone would even ask you to do a painting for them. They liked they studied, what you're doing enough, and they liked your painting enough to ask you, to do them. Like I say, if it comes down to someone who might not particularly like what you've done, it's not the end of the world. Okay, you just move on. Okay, just move on. Obviously, some of these flowers they're not gonna fully be, or some of the leaves here, they won't be fully seen. Obviously, tape cuts them off water, but that's fine. That's okay. That is all right. But I do like your comments, because I am looking intently at the chat, because I want to have a conversation about this. As far as confidence, well, it's okay. A couple days ago, I had to do a portrait of pastor of the church that I attend. No pressure, right? Now, how many people you think he bumps into from time to time? So I have the pressure of not only doing it from the photograph, but to get his likeness done well enough to where someone sees him immediately and they know it's him. No pressure. Once again, no pressure. I usually use these for watercolor. I really don't want to mess with these. I do have a set of brushes that I do exclusively have for florals, and I guess I'll dig into these. You figure as often as I usually do florals, I would keep these close by quite often, but I don't because, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment. We're gonna do trying to find a spot to put these things so I can easily get a hold of them where I won't cause too much of a mess. Okay, we're gonna keep it moving while I'm talking to you and you're talking to me. No, don't make excuses for yourself. If someone appreciates your work enough to ask you to do a portrait, consider it an honor and just do it the best you can. Spend as much time on it as you feel you need to. Also, that's also a plus. Okay, just dip it into some glycerin. I'm gonna get some brighter green going here for the leaves. I'll keep the leaves pretty straightforward, I guess. I'll slap a little bit of yellow and white in there. Okay, they're kind of in the forefront. I do have glycerin on the brush. I am going to do the two-handed thing again. I think I'll use this fella. This fella might work. Okay, you guys are able to pretty much see the whole painting. Okay. I kind of know where the light side is going to be. So we'll just kind of work it in that way. Okay. Obviously those will be brighter. I'm not too worried about it yet. Highlight side. We'll get to them. I'm just going to add the colors in there. I got heavy body paint, so I'm going into the glycerin a little often, a little more than I usually do. It's bigger brush, bigger canvas, bigger painting. This is not a commission or anything. This is just me biding time while I chat with you about these things. People who do this for a living have to face the fact that some people who either purchase it or just curiosity, they don't really understand or maybe even fully appreciate the fact that most people who are full-time artists are doing this for a job. It's their livelihood. You know, it's how they put their food on the table, you know. So they might not even take what you're doing too seriously, you know. So you know, they got to combat with that. So you got to pretty much have pretty broad shoulders, be pretty resistant to a lot of criticism. Now, being resistant to criticism, does that mean that it's not going to hurt you? Of course not. Artists are pretty sensitive people, and you know, building up a little tolerance to some people's questions or comments, which might be purely out of ignorance, you have to keep that in mind, because not many people, even if you do it for hobby, not many people do what you do at all. Okay, so keep that in mind also. I'm just getting some highlight color. You'd be surprised how much white or yellow you would have to put into it just to bring it out. I'm pulling the brush strokes to me because you want to keep a very good chiseled edge on these guys when you do them. Now I have way too much paint on here, so I'm going to have to get that paint out of there, out of the brush. This brush has thick bristles all in it, so you want to still maintain that super chiseled edge. I'll take a little more concern and care about doing these, fellas. I'll be turning back to your questions or comments. You feel guilty? Don't feel guilty accepting money for your work. All right. Even though you know, painting is quote unquote a hobby, but if someone's willing to charge you their hard-earned money for your works, do not be ashamed to accept yonder lucre. All right. It helps you get more paints. All right. For some people, it literally helps put food on the table for the young ones. Helps you get gifts for your grandkids and such. All that helps. All that counts. They enjoy your work enough to pay for it. Consider it a blessing and honor. And when they hand over the cash, you say thank you with a smile. Because you are putting forth your time and your effort doing these works. Okay. So don't forget that. You are working. I mean, you're not digging ditches or anything like that. You know. You're not doing calculations for people at NASA. But that doesn't mean you're less of a person because you paint animals and flowers and roses, and you know, no less different. They're still paying you for your labor. And some people really don't know how many hours, you know, how long it actually takes you to do these works. How many man hours it takes. Sometimes it's a sacrifice for some people to really sit down and you know, get these things done. All right. So never count yourself short. Never do that to yourself. And like I say, I'm taking a little more time than I usually would with this one because I'm kind of running my mouth as I'm talking to you guys, or you know, as I'm painting this rather. Okay, let's go into the shadow side a little bit. Go into some blue. Put the blue in, a little touch of white in the blue. I'll lighten it up just a hair. Get some glycerin here. A little more glycerin in that. We're just working on the shadow side there. Just like that. Lightly fade it in. It all depends on how strong you want some of this shadow on these guys. And plus, like I say, if it's too strong, I can just kind of wisp and just kind of blend it and fade it in a little bit. It's all right. Blend it into that brown a bit. Hey, Sonia, I'm talking about commissions and the business aspect of doing these things. You know, Sometimes, you know, you can get pretty successful at doing the commission. It will be something that somebody really cherishes and likes, or it will be something that somebody may reject. And some people can be quite cruel in the rejection. They don't consider, you know, the feelings. And once again, they don't consider the time involved in doing something like this, you know. And some people really do think when professional artists do it, that it is a hobby and not to be taken too serious. But this is really some people's living doing these, and really not to be taken lightly or for granted, you know. And some people are not cognitive to artists' feelings. Like, once again, when you do something like this, you're really putting your soul out there, your feelings and everything in doing these. And so you're really burying yourself when you burying your soul when you do these. Honestly. Okay. All right. Have I ever had one rejected? I've had more than one rejected. Yes, I have. I've had one rejected. I was told so, not very politely. Oh yeah, people can be very cruel. Not that I can necessarily say they meant to be, but it comes out that way. It's a little harsh when it becomes cruel in a text form. There's no intonation of tone or anything in text. It's just straight cold letters. All right, so it can come off to be very acidic, you know, and some people really don't realize that, or some people do and just don't care. But the majority of people really don't know how nasty a rejection can be in wording. Okay. Some people truly don't know, you know, that their text can come out to be rather cruel. And I've had all of those. Yes, I've had works rejected. And, you know, you do the best you can. It gets rejected. You feel bad for a little while. Yes, you do. You feel discouraged. Yes. Feel like throwing in the towel? Of course. So yeah, I've been there. I've been there for real. Which is why I can talk about it. You know, does it happen often? Thank God, no. But you know, but it does happen. And you get over your initial disappointment, your sadness, but you will move on. You will definitely move on. Like I say, I'm taking a little more time with this one because I'm talking to you guys. I know it's pretty late, but I also consider it's the weekend. I'm a late night guy anyway, and so instead of me sitting there watching TV, which is doing pretty much nothing, why don't I get on here and talk about something that hurt my friend, bothered my friend? So hopefully, you know, obviously he's not going to see this tonight. Maybe he'll roll up on it a little bit later when he has a little time, or a lot of time. This painting's going to take a minute. So, oh, how was your gig, Sonia? Oh, Maryland. You have to put yourself out there. You really have to sell yours. Really. Don't give away. I mean, if it's in you to do it, I can't stop you. You are an adult. You're probably older than I am. But your work, trust me, you wouldn't have any problem paying the bills. I would look into that, you know. I really would. Nice. Nice. Now my buddy, he did do a floral and everything. He seems to have trouble with backgrounds. So, backgrounds, as you can see, I've taped up the flowers. And so the leaves and the grass and the blades come in, you know, right now. Now, keeping things interesting for a background, a little balance there. All right. You want your background interesting, but you don't want it to overshadow stuff either. Okay. I think I'll use a small flat for what I'm gonna do next. So I'm gonna add a few things in the background here, just to get it pretty interesting. You know, get it a little more busy than what it is right now, because it's still kind of, well, as of right now, it appears kind of open and airy because the flowers are huge. There's 3 of them. Okay. Like I said, I know it's pretty late, but I am looking to hear some conversation there, so I can keep this going. I think I'll pop a little red in there too. Keep it pretty close to the color back there. All right, that might do it. These are pretty simple to do once you get them going. They might be a little small for you guys, considering what you're looking at me in with. If you're on the PC, you might be able to catch these. If you're not, you won't. I'll slap in a little bit of white. Like I say, once I get one going, the rest are pretty simple after that. You definitely wasn't going to see that, but you'll be able to see these guys. Color those guys like that. I do have glycerin on them. There. Well, let's put another one right here. I'll just kind of pop one in here like this. Like that. I'll do one more whole one. You'd be surprised how much white you would need just to make some of these guys show up. I just need a few full ones, just like that, and then I'll just build up off of those. This is a larger canvas, so I would need to put a couple more in, and then you just kind of go on your merry way with it. Different directions. I know where the other blades of grass are poking up at, so I won't put them entirely in the way. And just pop them in there. It's a little twist thing that I'm doing with them. And, you know, make some run right into each other. Just, you know, kind of crowd them in there. Almost like doing short, sharp commas. Okay. I'll move them around a little bit. I'm bringing some down below. That, pop some in there. Put a couple in there. I'll keep working at them. I'll bring some of these guys up in here. I'll bring some over there on the other side too. There's a little bit of glycerin on this in the paint. I do see the comets moving, so I'll be no problem, Shane. No problem. Thank you for coming in. I do appreciate it. Oh, where can I I'll throw in a couple more in there. Of this color anyway. I'll pop some in here like that. Just like that. Put them up in here. Just like so. All right. Let's go with some yellow. I'll put the yellow here. Get a nice batch of yellow. We're gonna get some white. You always have to beef up your yellow with a little bit of white. Yeah, get a small touch of glycerin in there. Loosen up this paint. I'm getting most of this paint off of my brush also. There. Pull it towards me. Do the same thing, but we're gonna come down here and do them. Now you may not see them because of the glare of the light. You can see the glare here, so you might not see all of them. All right. When you do little flowers like this, try not to rush them. You'll get accustomed to doing them. The more you do them, the easier it becomes. The faster you'll become at it. Okay, so don't let it discourage you. Just keep going at it. So these are nice filler things to pop in there from time to time. Just like so. Pop them in there in different places. Go down to the bottom too. Put them all over the place. Put them in there. You don't have to try to fill every nook and cranny. Your eye will do that by itself. Trust me. I've seen it happen. I've seen me do it. I'll put some in front of the leaves there. It really is stuff in between. All like that. Put them in there. Crowd them in there. Different spots. Like I said, your eye fills in the rest. And it really does. Have fun. Put them in between leaves. Go in different directions. Gotta go in different directions. And just put them in there. You'd be surprised how many of these things you can get done just by working at it. Try not to think about it so much. Okay, think of them in interesting little groupings. Turn your brush around. Yeah, Shane does magnificent work. Definitely animals are her forte. Oh, someone, who was that? Oh, thank you, Marilyn. On the portrait of my pastor, I was really nervous about that. Mainly because, you know, the missus can be quite critical, but she really loved it. She enjoyed it, and she really liked the. She's seen it on my Facebook page. But when I posted it on the page, it was more of a the show that I did do it, but also as a lesson, because not too many people see me do stuff like that, portraits and whatnot. They usually see me do mountains and trees and rivers and stuff like that. Seemingly, I seem to be known for doing these florals. Florals are actually the newest. When I first started out, I actually did more portraits and real detailed woodsy scenes that took quite a while to do. But when I decided to want to teach painting, I had to adjust my painting style So it can be accessible and approachable for those who are kind of new to it or a little intimidated by painting, you know. So a lot of the art you see me do is pretty much geared towards that. Well, Sonia, let me put it to you this way. You're starting off just how Bruce started off. Okay, Bruce learned from me. You're going to learn from Bruce. And that's how it's handed down. Okay. Bruce was once the student. Bruce was very, very adamant, very serious. And you can usually tell when a person is very serious and they really want to do it, because they will hammer you with questions and they will not leave you alone. And since I teach and instruct, it's kind of what I wanted, and therefore that's how I got to know Bruce and to teach Bruce. And as Bruce grew in his art, started to getting used to the techniques and such. He started looking at other artists and their styles and how they do things, whatnot. And that's how you learn. That's how we learned, you know. Ask a lot of questions. And then again, I never pushed him away. Whenever he had a question, whenever he had a concern or comment or whatever, I was there to listen and give instructions best I could. There was another lady, you seen her a couple days ago. You seen her when I did the barn, Maria Spears. She's another one, started from zero. And she had got to the point where she was doing artwork she's doing paintings for people's books. So, you know. And for me, that was a great big success story, especially for me, really. That she had got to the point where people were asking her to do children's books. So, you know, it's very, very rewarding for me. It lets me know that I guess I'm doing something on the right track somewhere. So, you know, it's all good. And I think I'll finish off some of these spaces with the blue here. Because the blue obviously is in the family of that green. All right. I could have added yellow or red to the yellow or orange, but the flowers are going to be towards that color. So I just got to be careful in choosing what I want to do, when and where and how. All right. Hey, look at that. What's going on, Bruce? As the title suggests, that's what I'm pretty much talking about. Well, I talked about the bulk of most of that earlier on. Kind of real late for you, isn't it? At 11:20. Hey, Sharon. Well, Sonia, I did the same to Bruce. You know, I did not want. I didn't want Bruce to fail. He was serious about it, and when I realized that he was serious about it, then I could be a little more critical. Because for someone to ask me that many questions and see him that often, he was going to pretty much be in it for the long haul. So I devoted that time. You know, like I say, he was not the only one. I think I was teaching Maria at the same time. I believe, or close to it, close to that same time. But he just kept with it. You know, when I was doing the florals and learning them, I bugged the heck out of, I called him often, as a matter of fact, Gary Jenkins. You talk about a pro, that guy and his wife, amazing. You would not believe the things they can do, you know. But then again, they each been doing it over 50 years, so, and still doing it. Still doing it. Yes, I'm going over some of my leaves just to brighten the highlights, because acrylic paint, it flattens out when it dries, which is why you see me going over just a few of them, just to really pop them out there a little bit. Then I'll leave them alone and I'll peel away the tape. Like I say, I'm doing this more because of conversation, you know. Yes, I do lessons. Yes, I do. I have a series coming out. The series is done. Everything's done. The ads are done. Everything is done. I just gotta really put them out there. But they are finished. High quality videos. Got the music in the background and me explaining things, and I've got lettering going across the screen of definitions of what type of painting is what, and I demonstrate different types of paintings, complementary color paintings, tetrad color. I give the definitions, the whole 9 yards, which is why my YouTube channel has not been very active, because I've been busy doing those paintings. There was a painting that Bruce had done a few days back that had the almost monochrome type feel to it. I actually have a monochrome painting very, very, very similar to what Bruce had done. So, you have a good night, Bruce. But yeah, it's got to be late for you guys because it's 11:30 here on the East Coast. So, but I mean, you guys are on with a guy that don't go to sleep till 2 and 3 in the morning. So this is nothing for me. When I was on Facebook at this time, I would be talking to a lot of people from the Middle East, Dubai, Africa, Brazil. Okay, so as I'm chatting and talking to you, tonal. You gotta know what you mean by that. You mean doing a painting of one color? But the background is pretty much finished. Okay, I don't really have to add any more to the background. Everything's in there that should be in there. What appears to be the giant leaves in the front will not be in the front. You'll soon see this. Okay, like I said, I have 3 florals, one up here, one here, and one here. All right, single color. It's called monochrome. Mono meaning one. Now, in the scheme of things, to be real technical and scholastic about it, black and white aren't really considered colors. Okay, black is a shade, white is a tint. All right, so black is the inclusion of all colors. White is the exclusion of all colors. All right, so when you mix a color with black, it's a shade. All right, you mix a color with white, it's a tint. All right, so that's where your tones and your hues come from, the intensity of certain colors, you know. it's like saying red has more intensity than brown. All right. So certain terms can be quite confusing, which is why I don't use them. We'll start with this fella down here on the bottom. Why not? I'll just take an example. This is 2-inch wide tape. Okay. Now, glycerin and tape aren't good bedfellows. It will stay and remain wet. All right. Be mindful of that. So I got a large beach towel on my lap. And yes, I do wipe my fingers consistently with this stuff. Now, for those of you who popped in, this is 14 by 20. Yeah. And it's watercolor paper, but it's been glued to with adhesive glue to foam board. So, got some foam board there. It's very sturdy and very light. All right, Shane, it was a pleasure. You take care. Okay, we'll start off with flower number 1. It's a poppy, so obviously poppies are red, so obviously that red's gonna really pop out very strong with this. You do see the hard edge. It won't be around long. But I will approach this. I'll use the 1/2-inch brush. I'll set this guy over here right now. I'll use the 1/2-inch brush for what I'm about to do. Okay, so with a flower that's predominantly very red, you don't really try to highlight with white on a red flower. You use either orange or yellow or a mixture of those two to highlight anything red. Because once you put white into red, it starts turning carnation and pink and stuff like that. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, obviously, inside of the flower, if you've seen a poppy, it's black. We'll don't have black here, but we'll gather a mix here that'll get it fairly close. Okay. I'm gonna take 2 color opposites, red and green. So turn it into kind of a brown color there. More green. Red's a very powerful color. There we go. This is that brown I'm looking for right there. Okay, now we're gonna take some blue. I'll put it right here. Get some blue. Get some red. And that's gonna turn a deep maroon. Okay. I want it a little more on the blue side. There you go. Now if I add white to that, it would be a very attractive looking color. I'm gonna mix both of those together in there. Get a little more blue, darken it up a little bit. That's it. Just like that. That will appear black within all that red. Okay. Let's get a little bit of glycerin. A little bit. Put it in there. Glycerin really is not to really make it transparent, but just to keep it wet a little longer. We'll put it right here in the center. Right, just like that. Right there in the center. Okay. And I'll take this. And it's all depending on how I want to go with the flower, but I'll make a little explosion light here. And it comes a little more out there. And then it gets like that. We're going to do each petal like that. Come here, you do the same thing. It gets a little higher, then it gets lower like that. It's going to look like a little explosion. I'll do the one below here like that. It gets higher in the middle. Then it gets light again, like so. This one here does not have one because it's kind of flopped over. This one here has one, but it's kind of subdued. It's kind of like in there a little bit. It's behind the other guys. So I can make his a little longer. Put it out there. Just like that. Okay. That's pretty much it. Believe it or not. That's about it for him. I could move on to the other flowers, but I'll do one at a time. All right, that's enough of the dark color. Now, how you tackle each giant flower? You have a light tone, a mid tone, then the darker tone, that type of thing, you know. We'll do one by each leaf. All right, let's go with, we'll go with a tiny bit of red. We'll go here in the yellow spot here. We're gonna get a lot of yellow though, a lot of yellow. Put it in there. Now that's a lot of red. It's got yellow in it, so I'll just put some white in there. Okay, now that's when I talk about that little pinky color. Not really looking for pink. There we go. So we'll use this color first. I'll get a little bit of glycerin, put it in there. And basically you just flesh out the flower. All right, this guy's in front of everybody. We'll do him first. And right now, really, I'm just fleshing out the flower. I'll just come out here, flesh him right out. Now I'm just adding the basic, just fleshing him right out, just like that. Just put it right in there. Just basically blocking in the color for right now. I don't have to make it super even. Won't be necessary. Get a little more glycerin. It's not smooth enough. And feather it into the black. Feather it into the black there. Just like so. Just like that. That guy's on the outside. Okay. We have another one that's now with a poppy, they kind of overlap. Okay, this guy's in the back there. This guy is above this one, below this one, but above this one. You follow me? So I will take a little bit of red, corner of red, up in here, just like this. Because he's kind of, I'll feather it a little bit right in there like that. Feather it into that color. All right. Okay. Get a little glycerin. Pop it in there. Loosen up the paint. Then I'll come in here and I'll start to blend that in there. Just like that. Just blend that color in. Blend it in there. I can go outside the lines on my flower. It's okay. I remember this guy is going above the other flower. Then I'll just feather this orangey color in there. Just feather it in there, just like that. Just put it in there all nice. Okay. Like so. I'm gonna get a little touch of that dark color, and we're gonna kind of play with that edge in there. Just a corner of that dark color, that's all I need. Just to play around and get some of that dark in there, just like that. A little bit more than that. Put it in there, get that shadow going there, just like this. All right, just to cover it up a little bit, you know, get it in there. All right, okay. Like I said, this guy comes out a little bit more on that one. All right, okay. This fella right here, I'm getting a little more glycerin. Loosen up my paint. This is heavy. I deal with a lot of heavy body paint. Almost turns into a light glaze, and that's fine. Right here, once again, put it right in there. Put it in there. Now, different paints act differently with different surfaces. Now, I got watercolor paper here, it's not canvas. So yes, it kind of soaks in, and this paint, because I got so much glycerin, it's a little transparent, which is why you can see some of that dark easier, which is fine. That's fine. And I'll just put it in there just like this, just like that. Okay. So basically you're seeing a bunch of more or less just flat colors right now. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going into my dark. I'm gonna go right into this little corner of this color. Get a little bit more dark. Right here in the middle fella right in here. We'll darken him a little bit. I'm gonna need a little more glycerin. A little more of this pinky color. A little bit more of that dark right in there. And we're gonna do the same thing in here. Kind of put him in there. He's a little on the dark side there because he's kind of underneath everything. Not much light is getting toward this guy. And I'm just handling one petal at a time. Once again, this is glaze. I'm just glazing the color so you can see some of that darkness in there. So he's subdued in there compared to the other guys. All right. All right, Marilyn. You have a good night. So yeah, I understand it is quite late. Okay. Let's go back into that dark. We'll play with that dark a little bit. We'll kind of give him a little rim of darkness in here like that. But this one's kind of above. He's curled, so he doesn't get the little explosion. You'll see. Oh, let's get some red. Pop some red in there. A little touch of orange or touch of yellow. Pop a little bit of white in that area. Get a little orange-like. Careful with white. Also, getting back to commissions and whatnot, usually when I do commissions, I don't do them live. Because once again, it's a job and just block it in. Once again, just blocking in shapes. And since it's a glaze, you can still see some of that dark right there, and I can blend that in. Okay. Yeah, I don't usually do them. Unless, I think I did one or two portraits live in the past, but those people they're not online, they don't see Facebook and stuff like that, so I could get away with that. Let's add a little bit of shadow to the leaf right in here, petal rather, not leaf, and we'll just kind of blend that in, just like that. Just blend it in. It's shadowed a little bit, just like that. All right, but you can kind of see where it's headed there with this fella. Okay, and you see it's a very soft, dark color, not really black, but it's not necessarily super blue either. All right, but it's a gentle type of dark color, because if you put straight black in this, it would stand out even more, and it would look distracting, and that's not what you're looking for. All right, okay. But yes, if you do any type of portrait or any type of art where you're being paid to do a job, and that's just what it is. It's a job. You treat it as such. Now, to get the lighter color, I will only need a pinch of red. I don't need much. Red is very, very potent. You don't need too much. So I'm going slightly. I'm gonna keep touching this red till I get what I want here. That seems to be right. I'll pop a little glitter. Now, anything where you add titanium white to it, titanium white is a very, very, very opaque color. It covers death. So be mindful of that. Okay. I'll work with the petal that's kind of going toward us here. So it's got kind of a bend to it red in here. And this is how you would highlight said flower, with oranges and yellows, just like that, very gently. You get it brighter as you go along. Round it off. And you just build upon this. I just fade it. Like so. I could probably have it come to the edge. Why not? Have her come right to the edge there. Like I say, this is glycerin with the paint, so it's transparent, and you can maneuver it around, move it around. Okay. Just like that. It's still more or less keep it kind of on the reddish side. Okay. All right. Let's go into nothing but red. Get a little glycerin. I'm going to work from the reverse, right from this blue, and work outward, like this. Higher in the middle, kind of slacks off out there, just like that. See that? Okay. I can do some of that in here. Actually, I can color this already, because one, this poor guy is in shadow, so we can kind of really put the shadow on this fella. And go in, it's like going with the grain in woodworking. That's all you're doing. Just like that, put him right in shadow there. So he's in shadow, this one's up in front. All right, you follow me? You see where it's going there? I'll get a little dot of red in this corner here and brush it outward and upward. And she's in shadow in here. So bring some of that shadow out there like that. And brush it out this way. Very light strokes. You'll see the gradual shade in there, okay? And don't be afraid to use your hand. This stuff is still maneuverable. Smooth it out a little bit. Just like that. All right? Okay. Get a little bit more of this red and glycerin. Mix, get a little more glycerin. I'm only using really like the corner of the brush for the glycerin. Once again, I'm going in from the dark, and it gets higher as you go toward the middle, just like they go way up there, and you come on back, coming slower back this way, just like that, just like so. All right, and you can kind of circle your hand around, blend it nice, just like so. Okay, you're still keeping it red. All right. So your darker medium is coming in from that darker spot and going outward. And have no fear doing this. Put it right in there. Just like that. Put it right in there. Okay. I can play around with this edge right here. I'm just scumbling some red in there and I'm coming outward. Take my finger out, blend that a little bit. You only got a small window to do the finger blending thing. You'll know what your glycerin and paint can and cannot do. That just comes with. Yes, the commission is very personal. Once again, you're bearing your little soul when you put your art out like that, and someone asks for it. Especially for a painting. Paintings usually are going to be handed down and handed down and handed down. You know. So yeah, it becomes a part of somebody's intimate part of somebody's life. All right, when you do a painting, do a portrait or whatnot. Okay. So yeah, it can be a pretty heady thing. Let's get some with a few highlights. The highlights will not come on this side. The highlights will come over here on this side, because this is where the light source is. So the light will pretty much hit from over there. All right. Let's get a little bit of titanium white. We'll put it over here, and some yellow. Gotta beef up that yellow-ish color. Definitely will be using glycerin for this, for the gentle fading and whatnot. Like I said, I'm taking a little more time with this painting, but hopefully, I'm chatting with you guys. Hopefully, I'm helping out, a few people. Okay. We'll start it from here. We'll start it actually from here. I'm gonna just give it a little push, a little strong, little push, and I'm gonna come on the inside like that. A little push, put it inside, a little push, overlap it, put it right in there. I don't really want the striations too much, and I can pretty much get those out of there if I mess around with the glycerin. And the glycerin's still wet, so I can kind of fade those out, make them a little more gentle, like that. And basically, really, I want it at the rim, at the edge, and I overlap a little bit as I'm doing them. That's where I kind of want the intensity, is right on the edge there. All right. I'll pull the brush towards me. This one here is more toward, this one's like right there. Right in there. So it's really heavy here. I can go outside a little bit. I can have one come kind of out there to a point and bring it on inward. Then once again, I just I really want it at the edge, so I'm just giving it a nice strong push there. Kind of aiming toward the middle there. Soften it up a little bit. Keep the edge out there. It's just inside here I want to kind of blend it down a little bit. You'll get more and more used and accustomed to this the more you do them. And once again, what I don't like, I can blend away. So it's all good. But I'm not necessarily going all the way around the flower. That won't be necessary. It's not needed. I'll show you a little trick though. I'll get a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow. I'll stir it around in here a little bit. Yeah, that'll do. Not much glycerin on this part. I can take this and I can go here on the outside edge just like this, and I give a little push, 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 and then I'll just narrow it down. I got a little fold in the flower there like that. Okay, I can kind of smooth that over a little bit, just like that. Got a little curve in there like that. So you got one kind of turned around there on you. Okay. Now, since I do have one turned around, flipped around a little bit, I gotta take a little bit of this dark if I got some left. Probably a little glycerin, loosen up this paint just a tad. I just want a shadow. And then I'll just come over here on the outside and I'll just play with a shadow a little bit like that. Cup it in there, just like that. A little deeper in there and come out this way. And I'll just take it and I kind of stroke it along in there like that. Just a little playing around. I can take some of this dark, a little touch more glycerin, because I'll be leaving this petal alone after a while or two. Come in here, and we're gonna kind of muscle in some of that dark in there, just like that, kind of fade it out there. Just keep rubbing away, just fade it on out. All right, okay, let's get a little bit of white, yellow, and I'm gonna put it in there a little bit. I'm just twirling the brush around a little bit. We're gonna put some of those in there, almost in like a little circle. Something like that. Something like that. And then you leave it be. All right. Okay. One down. All right. So you're pretty much working with the 3 or 4 different colors. You blended them in there and whatnot, and you know, there you have it. Okay. All right. And while I'm talking about this, and I'm really teasing around the thing about shadow and shadow colors, I'm gonna take this this soft brush here. I got it packed full of glycerin, like that. Probably need a little more glycerin in there. More glycerin than paint. Just like that. I'll come around and I'll start to kind of add little cute shadow things in here. All up in here, I'll kind of... Now remember, glycerin is transparent, so I'm adding little bits of shadow to these fellows. Don't get nervous if it looks a little strong, because you can take your blender brush. See that? See how you soften all of that up? Soften it right up. Look at that. Yeah. Got a little shadow in the leaves there. Come up under here, add some of that love up in here. Just like that. So you can shadow a part of a petal, not necessarily all of it. And just rub that stuff away. See, I'm taking a little more time, like I say, with this one than, you know, what I would usually do. I'm talking to you guys, and I know it's kind of late. It's like that. So I don't know how many people are still watching, but I'll still ramble. I would take my time like this pretty much. If this was an actual commission, I would take my time, like I'm doing now, and really add things to it. I don't think my head is in a way, not too much, but I'm just adding a little more dark to this fella right here, just like that. Once again, it just brings it out a little more, smooth out the color, because glycerin still moves around, still, you know, quite pliable. Okay, it just brings that, you know, brings that petal in there a little more. I can play around with the very edge here. It just brings out that fold in the petal a little bit more. This guy here, if it needs a little more love and attention, do the same thing. And use your finger and kind of blend that outer edge there, have it travel around a little bit, just like that. One of the fun things about acrylic paint, you know, you can get away with doing these things, but you need an effective shadow to show off your light. Okay, all right. Let me clean off your brush fairly well. You're ready for the next batch, next go around. All right, so that one's pretty much a done deal. I could be cute and add a nice water drop while I'm thinking about it. That only takes a second. Take a script liner brush, go into my white. I'll add a football shaped one right here, a little large enough so you guys can see it. Maybe I'll do a nice dark one right in here like this. Boom, like that. All right. Clean off my brush. You gotta work kind of fast doing this, because I think if you gotta kind of work at it, you're destroying the inside edge, believe it or not. So you get a nice film of white there. Just like that. You do the same thing with this fella. Be kind of brisk with it. You kind of want to destroy the inside edge, keep the outside there. You want a nice, almost a nice film of white covering the center area in there. I'll take some of this dark color. You just need a dark color, really. And then I'll just come on with the bottom right there. Same thing here. Come on with the bottom, just like so. All right. Then you get yourself a nice dot. Remember the light's coming on this side, so you put that dot on that side like that. Same thing with this fella. Even though he's hidden back there, we'll put the dot right on that side. We'll kind of there, just like that. So you got two over there. All right. You're better off really with three. So I guess I'll put one right up around in here like this little football shape once again. Clean off my brush. Work rather briskly, destroy the inside edge. You will create a film of white. You will get it. Just keep going, keep working at it, and you'll see it. When that white dries, it will stay. It will look kind of transparent. Get yourself another little sliver of dark. Go up underneath this guy. That's too light. Thicken that up a little bit. There we go. Hello. Clean off the brush real fast. Get yourself a nice little dot of white. That's too big of a dot. Nice dot of white. Put it to where the light source is. Right in there. Nice pronounced dot right there. And then, that's it. Okay. All right, Jackie. Anyway, that's flower number one. Done deal. He's done. Okay, let's move on to flower number two. Once again, I'll just peel off the tape here. Same premise, different shaped flower. Same poppy type of flower, but now when I pull this tape, it's a pull and lift at the same time. If you can get it all at once, even better. Just be mindful, don't rush it. I'm pulling it as I'm lifting because I'm working with paper. Even though it's 140-pound watercolor paper, still paper nonetheless. Come on, buddy, get off of there. Oh, you're gonna be difficult. Oh, well, I don't got no nails. There we go. Come to Papa. There you go. No fingernails, I meant to say. All right. Same premise, more or less. This one here is a little more of a flamboyant guy. Okay. All right. Once again, I shall block this fellow in. Well, I might make this one a deeper red, but before I do that, obviously we're gonna get another. I think I still got some. Yeah, I still got a nice mix of color here. I'm gonna get some glycerin. Loosen up this paint a little bit. I still got a nice mix of color here of dark. Might not be dark enough though. I don't think so. So I'm gonna beef it up once again with some blue. Pop some green in that blue. Get some red. Pop it in there. Just work at it. Now it's brown, but it's brown a little bit on the red side, so we're going to kill that brown with a little touch of blue. There we go. Hello. Now it's got glycerin in it, so I don't have to worry about that. To come here. This one here is a little more flamboyant. All right. Really put them out there like that, and curve them around like this, like that. This one here, same thing. He really is out there. This flamboyant guy right here, like that. Okay, so he's really an explosion there. This one here's got a flower petal that's turned up, so we'll be a little cute. We'll add some of that dark right up in here, and then we'll thin him out like that. No big deal. This fellow, same thing. We're gonna cup him right in here, so he'll come pretty much to like a little point right in there like that. Same thing on this side. He's a point here, but he gets a little wide here, and it comes down to a point because this petal flips, this petal flips, and this guy right here, this fella right all up in here, he slipped too, but he really flipped. So we're gonna feather him like so. All right. Okay. Let's get a little bit of we'll go opposite with this guy. We'll make him we'll play with the red with this guy, then we'll go lighter. So we're going opposite. Get some glycerin, just red out the tube, nothing special. But I do have to put plenty of glycerin on it just to make it transparent. All right. Okay. Well, let's start with all of these guys first. Come out here and scoop them, put them right in there with that dark. Put it right in. Don't be shy about it. Put it right in there. Press it in there, just like that. Especially with this guy. Put him right in there, just like that. Put him right in there. Pulling the paint towards me. I'm just thinking about something for a second. Block him in here. Block him right in. Block him in. Like a linebacker. Block him in there. Just like that, just block him right in. This guy too, block him in. Put him right into that dark there. Block him in. Block him in there. It's foundation color. You're just blocking in this guy. Block him in there. Block it right into that dark there. Block him, put him in there. Show no fear. Put him in there. Put it in. Thank you, Sharon. My topic, actually, which I did speak on for quite a length of time, was really about doing commissions and kind of not putting your feelings on your sleeve. People will get hurt. Feelings will get hurt, get a little shattered if you're rejected. Some people aren't very polite or very cognitive of an artist's feelings when they get rejected. It does not feel good. Okay. Trust me, I know. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. You will get over it. And you will. Some people's recovery time is a little quicker than others, but you will get over it nonetheless. You will get over it. And for some people, it pushes them to do more. Okay. Yes, it's all one color. This is a deeper one, a little deeper red. We're gonna work deep, then we'll work the shine on top of it. So it's got a little glycerin in this red. For one, I'm blocking things in, and I can go heavier with the paint and stuff later in the process of highlighting these guys. Now with red's a different animal. Red you don't really highlight with white because it starts turning pink and carnation and whatnot. You're going to use oranges and yellows to do them. Okay, so basically I'm just blocking these fellows in, and if you notice the petals that are folded, I'm keeping white. They're a little, either since they're kind of away from the light, I can make them a little darker, but obviously not as dark as the shadow that you see here. Okay, but you'll see. Take a little bit of red. I'll put it over here. Take just a minute touch of blue. Be careful. Careful with your blues and your reds. Get a touch of glycerin in there. Because these guys are not really facing the light part of the painting, so they're a little deeper. I'll make it a little deeper red there. It does have glycerin in the paint, so I can kind of manipulate and move it around a little bit. But as you can see, it's a deeper red. Same thing with this fellow over here, a little deeper red. But these guys they're folded over, they're flipped over, but they're flipped over in the shadow side. So they're a little deeper, not lighter. They're not really truly in the light per se. Once again, a little touch of blue into the red. Be careful. More glycerin than anything. And keep in mind that this is still a blocking in process, but you got different hues of red in this. All right, you might not be able to tell, but trust me, it's different hues of red. Okay, all right. Actually, I can just use this red. I'll mix it in with the dark color that I did have. I'm gonna glaze this because I want to kind of match some of this darkness here, that you know that it is the shadow side, so I can kind of deepen this fellow right in here, so it looks more like the shadow, like that. Okay, I can come up under here and do the same thing, kind of brush it out a little bit. Up in here, kind of brush that out a little bit like that. In here, I can kind of put a little right here in between the lines of the dark shadow there. I can put some of that in there, round it off a little bit. This is the dark color mixed with red. I can come up in here, add a little shadow up in here, a little more faded out. And this is just me glazing all of this. This is covered. This guy's a little dark. He's folded up under, and he's not anywhere in any light, so he's a little darker than the other ones. Okay. Do I remember the first painting I sold? Yes, I do. It was I'm thinking the name of them. I got the picture in my head because I painted 4 of them. and I don't have one. I don't have them. It made the cover of a magazine. Stonehenge, that's what it is. Stonehenge. Yes, Stonehenge. I made 4 of them, and I had to make them the exact same. 18 by 24, all 4 of them. Yes, it was Stonehenge. Let's get to some cute highlighting here. I'm going to take my little softy brush here, okay? I'll kind of teasing a little red. We'll go over here. Go with a lot of yellow and a slight touch of white. There we go. I don't know if I want to put, yeah, I guess I could put a little glycerin on, just a little bit, because the glycerin will make this stuff transparent. Okay, so let's yeah, I had to paint it 4 times. Let's put some shine up in here, just like that. I'll just tap it in there, right up in here. All right, and I'll take the brush. I'm working opposite now. Now I'm taking the flat brush to kind of round out a little bit. I'll just pat some of that in there to brighten it up a little bit. But I'm being very coy about it, very gentle about the highlights. Now glycerin, when you add glycerin to your paint, all right, glycerin has a tendency to spread when it dries. Okay. Just like that. I'll put a little bit of that love out here, just a little bit. Round it off. Okay, so you guys can start to see that. You might not see it too well here because of the glare of the studio light. Studio light's glare is hitting over here. Right here. Right up in here. Just like that. Come on in there. Turning my brush around. Still got some more of that color. Add up in there. Very gentle. Because when you add white to something, titanium white tends to leave a chalky residue, so be careful. All right. Right up in here, where I know some pretty strong direct light is going to hit, right up in here. I can keep the intensity in the middle and just fade it out on the edges there, just like that. All right, let's take the 1/2-inch brush. Let's deal with some highlights. Going into my glycerin, put it right here with this yellow orange that I had from before. I'm gonna get a little bit of white. Going to my yellows. I might just stick with the yellows. Yellow and white. I'll pull the pulling the brush toward me, keep a pretty decent edge to it. Hopefully I'm not too much in the way of doing what I'm about to do here. So I'll just add a little slight pushing. Go that way, push, go that way, push, go that way, push. And I'm looking for the edge, really. I can bring some of this yellow in there further if I want to. But like I say, it's a glaze. I really want the edge to be bright like that, and then I can kind of glaze the rest of it in there. And then I can soften all of that. Just softly wisp and get rid of some of the striations. The yellow tint will be in there, but I'm just smoothing all of that out there like that. Okay. All right, And that's not bad, being that it's the shadow side. So that's not a bad color for it. We got this we got this fellow out here. Once again, it doesn't have to be terribly brightened because it is the shadow side. You're not going to see too much light there. So I'm more interested in the edges being kind of out there a little bit. All right. Now for those jokers out there toward in this area, we're going to wake this color up a little bit. A little more white. A little more yellow, a little more glycerin. Let's pop some of that love right in here and go downward. I'm overlapping a little bit also, like that. Right up here, up top, you got a nice long streak going there. Just like that. I'll shorten them. Okay. Really mellow out those ends there. Soften them. Just like that. I can come around in here. Get a little bit of love out here. Don't have to be even. You can have one come out to a point like that, and just kind of something like that. Bring it downward. Really your judgment call. How bright you want it, how much farther you want it to go out there. Okay. Let's play around for a second. Right here. I can come here, I'll put a line right here. I'll just go in, boom, go in, boom, go in higher, go in, then come out, and bring a line right there. And then we'll just kind of make it thick on that one edge there. We get a line there, and then we'll kind of coax the rest. Nice little folded petal there. Okay, all right. Then we'll just come here and add some of that glow just in there, just like that. And we'll come around the edge there, and bring it inward. Edge, bring it inward. I can take this and just kind of kill some of that up there. Wipe off my brush. Get some of that residual stuff up out of there. Smooth it out a little bit. No big deal. Just pop it in there like so. Okay, we got one more. I'm just wiping off my brush. I'll clean it off. Still got to maintain a pretty decent chiseled edge here. Don't know if I have enough. Get a little more white there. Just tint that white a little more yellow. Remember, you want to stay away from bright white. More your yellows and oranges and whatnot. Okay. All right. I'm adjusting my head because it's difficult for me to see it because of the studio lights. It's okay. It's all right though. Need a little more love over here. A little brightness. There we go. A little bright right there. And then I'll just keep highlighting the hard. Let's get a little push. I'm overlapping my lines. Like I say, it takes a little practice doing what you see me do here. Much like that. I'm looking at it on the 40-inch screen also, when you see my eyes shifting over there. I can also see you guys' comments too there. Thank you, Sharon. Yes, Sharon, most of my pictures, about 98% of them come from my Nugget. I don't have a reference photo, really. If I'm doing a certain scene or a lighthouse or what have you, then I'll look at a photo. But other than that, no, I don't really look at too many of them, no. Okay, let's put some sprinklies on that, and then we'll call that one done. Okay, so let's get a little bit of white. I'll just do it, it's quicker with the little makeup brush here, and we'll kind of pop them in there. Boom, 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 like that. Some bright ones in there, kind of bunch it up there like this, just like that. I might want that a little brighter, so let's add a little more white to that. Let's brighten it up a little bit. Hey, there we are. Hi. All right. Something like that. Okay. Kind of like that. I like those a little bit better, so we'll put some of those over here. Design them a little bit better here, like that. Put some up in there like this. All right. Anyway. There you go. All right. Okay. Thanks. I want to deaden out some of that strengthened color there. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of red. We'll kind of blend that in there a little bit better. Just some deep red. Blend that a little better. Yeah, we'll kind of soften that. Just a little bit. We'll kind of deepen this part here. We'll use some of that deep color. We'll darken that in there. I still got a little bit of this maroon stuff in here. It's just a gentle touch or two. Let's put it in there like that. Kind of work it in there a little bit. Okay. Just consistently work at it, really. Like I said, I'm taking a little more time with these, so they look a little different than what you normally see me do, because the subject that the title implies was a little important. I just don't want my buddy to be discouraged, and I don't want him to ever think that I've never had it happen to me. It has, more than once. You know, it happens. It happens. You know what? Let's put it one right up on top, right up here. Kind of play around with them up there. Just like that. Let's take a little bit of dark. That I know I do have a little smidgen of somewhere in here. I hope. I really don't want to create none just for this little spot. Get a little water. Water will wake this stuff up too. Glycerin and water are not good bedfellows. Water cuts through glycerin like a hot knife through butter. It will reactivate the paint. Just like that. Just one little dot right up there. You guys can, yeah, it can be seen. Right there. So you got one up there. I'm tempted to put another one. Yep, too late. I already see me doing it. Put a nice size one right there so you guys can see the thing. I do tend to make them a little large. I gotta be careful because the tape is wet. Glycerin does not dissolve on tape at all. Zero. It will stay wet for quite some time, and it will let you know that it's wet. Now, me talking and doing this, I just got rid of my edge, but that's all right. I'll just return it. Well, yeah. Stronger edge there. All right. The paint is tacky, but not to the point where it's on my fingers or on my hands or on my palm. But I got to be careful because I really don't want to take any of the paint off. Hey boss, I'm wide awake. I'm actually doing the live right now. I'm almost toward the end. Toward the end. Two. Speech to text sucks. Okay, that one's done. That one's done. The rolls up here, yes, 2 poppies in 1 rose. Commissions are a different ball game. Commissions, once again, is not fun and joy and hobby time. It's actually a job. It can also be quite stressful. All right. I'm just straightening up some things here. Hold on. So, you know, you take a little little more time with them. All right. Speech to text. Well, see, I speak with a lisp, so I can just imagine what this thing's trying to interpret when I talk. It probably thinks I'm in between Pig Latin and Swahili or something. I don't know. Once again, it's a pull and lift with this. I don't have any fingernails. The rolls will be very impressionistic, probably almost blending into the background a little bit. Yes, it's stressful. My very last commission, which has been posted a couple of days ago, that was my pastor. So, you know, no pressure, right? No pressure. Okay. I ought to be really cute and make this a very abstract blue rose with these 2 red poppies. And it would actually, I believe it would actually work. At least I believe. All right, let's get to this guy. You might not, well, let me do something before, because every time I do a painting, it changes the focus. All right, so excuse my head for 1 second. Yeah, you guys should really be able to see that. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, you guys are able to see that pretty good. Alright, let's put the stylus down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go blue. And I'm gonna go very stylized. I'm almost make this almost like a ghost rose, probably, more or less. Now, the problem with doing that is I gotta be careful, because obviously taping this gives me a hard edge. So I'm gonna have to do something with that. All right? Okay. Yes, post it on my Facebook. Yes. You definitely can't miss it. But it's there. If you do catch it to see it, and you got questions about it while I'm still here, I'll answer whatever you want. All right, I already know that I want this thing to be a little bit on the blue side. Let's take some red. I know, I said blue, and I'm going red. There's a method to my madness, hold on. Take a little bit of blue, mix it into that red, got a deep maroon thing going on here. So it's got glycerin in it. Okay, let's have some fun. We'll make the center up around in here somewhere. Okay, and we'll kind of push it. Not enough glycerin. We'll push it out. This is very stylized rose. But we'll play with it. We'll kind of push this stuff out a little bit like this. Push it right on out like that. Not too much happening underneath, but we will give it some love just like this down below. These are the bottom guys. Leaves on the bottom like that. But we got all sorts of happenings going on in here, so you're not even gonna see really much of the bowl. The bowl's gonna be covered. These are like all petals all over the place. All right, we'll stick with that. I won't even really take any of the color off the brush. We're gonna go with just the blue. We'll mix the blue in with this purple stuff in here. Glycerin. We'll start fleshing things out a little bit. Okay. Let's start with the outside guys. We'll just give it a slight push and we'll come on in. Come right on in with it. Come in strong with it. Come in with it just like that. Put it right in there. So yes, I'm starting off kind of dark with these fellas. We'll start to separate the outside petals and whatnot in a second or two. Come out here with the other batch. Put it right in there. Do the press. Push it right in there. Press. Push it right in there like that. Let's get this one a little tighter. Put them in there. Some strokes in there. Just like that. The reason why I'm going heavy here is because of that heavy line. I need more glycerin. I'm really playing around in this thick paint. Solid color. I'm mixing the purple in with the blue. All right. Put it right in there. And I mean really put it in there. Just like that. Pop it right in there. Just like that. Don't even play. Get in there. Just like that. All right. I'm gonna get a slight touch of white. I'll move it around over here. I'm gonna come out here, outward, and come on in. Really fill that out a little bit. Out here, come on in. Out here, come on in, bring it right in. Go a little bit past so I can overlap that flower a little bit. Put it right in like that. I'm coming in to a point in here. A little more glycerin. Gotta be kind of strategic here. Because I want to create a turn in here like this. I'll do it this way. It's either, let's just come out just like this. And then I'm coming out around and I'm coming out here and coming back right in here. Curve it, curve it, curve it, just like that. Okay. Now I'll leave that there because I want that curve in there. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of white. So you can get away with the white. I'm gonna come out. Come here. I really shouldn't do that yet. No, I won't do that yet. I'll highlight this. I go out here like this. Boom. I'll highlight these fellas just like that. Okay, I'll highlight that guy. Yeah, let's get a little more white. And we'll do a little highlighting out here a little bit. Come on out here. Just like that for that guy. I don't want to highlight this in the inside. I want to highlight it on the outside. Therefore, hold on 1 second. Let me just lighten up these fellas back here. And basically what I'm doing right now is that I'm just building that color to go into that dark you see out there. I'll shape up these a little bit later. I'm just really just blocking these in for right now. So I want it to blend into that purple-ish stuff back there. So I'm just taking the rest of this residual color and I'm just doing that with it. Getting rid of that hard line out there. Just like that. I'll blend it right in. And then I'll just take my little softy brush and blend all that real soft like. Just like this. Really soft, like so. Okay. Now I can take some of that deep maroon and come outward like this. And I'll do another one right here. So I'm creating my own shadow for the bottom leaves, like so. Now I can put whatever shape I want now. I got the foundation there. You got me? Okay, sure. Okay, let's get some of this deep blue here. Let's build a because I kind of know where I want to go with a couple of these, so I need a nice deep bluish kind of underneath here, something a little deep there, and we'll shadow this a little bit there, just like that. Actually, we'll just kind of block it in like that. Okay, just like so. Block it in like so. All right, because I know what's going to be here and I know what's going to be here, but I need this. Okay. All right. And we can kind of block him a little bit, like in there like that. We'll smooth it out a little. Doesn't necessarily have to be just like that. All right. Let's shape some of these guys, make them translucent. What do I mean by that? Well, when I put we'll use this stuff, I guess. I'm using a little more glycerin than paint. And what I'm going to do is get enough color in the glycerin to put color in the glycerin, but not to make it opaque. So it'll look like very thin petals. You can see, see through. Let's see here. Might have to be a little darker because we are dealing with blue. Yeah, that'll work somewhat. I know what I have to do with it though. Get a little bit of blue in there. Yep, this will work. I'll have one kind of come out here, way out here like that, and then come in, so it'll work this way. Put it right in there. You'll see. I'll just block it all in right now. Then I'll go inward. Have that petal kind of curve it in like that. There's a method to my madness. It'll straighten out there. I can put some of that here. I'll just make this one come on and do its thing like that. Actually, I'll have one come to a point here. And just come on in. Just like so. You'll see in a second what I'm up to here. Take a little bit of white. Now watch this. I'll come here and I'll just add a little bit of white to it. A little punch of white in. Flip of the wrist. Just like that. I'm gonna get some more white. Come on the edge right here and pop it in there. Go to the edge. Need more white. And really it's just the rim of color right there. That little edge of white, flip it in. Edge of white, flip it in. And I'm making my own translucent petal. Just like that. Come on in. Come on in. Put it right in there. Put it right in there. I'll have it kind of curve in the other way like that. Okay. Get a touch of glycerin going into this white. Make little ghosty shapes here. Come out here and just come on in. Out here, come on in. Out, come on in. Out, come on in. Got one right here. Come on in. Out, come on in. Curve it right in there. Just like that. Get a little bit more white. Gonna come out here. Put a nice rim of color there. So I'll just make petals come out of other petals. And I'll pop one here. Have a curve around in there like that. Okay. Sure, no problem. No problem at all. Matter of fact, get an iced tea for me. let's get with this guy. I've been playing with that guy and playing with that guy. Let's get him done. I want him flipped outward. So we're gonna come here. I'm gonna get a nice little rim of folded out petal, just like this, right? Get that little dark edge going there with him, right there. Then I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna go the opposite direction and go just like this, outward. Let's get some dark so we can accent that a little bit better. So we're gonna take them and we're going outward. So you guys can see this. Outward, 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 and then I want to just wisp all of that inward like that. Just like that. So the petal is flipped, going outward. I'm gonna get a nice stronger rim of white just to show that off. I have a point, pop it in there, point, pop it in there, point, just like that, and curve him in, curve him in. But he's flipped up there. Okay, and we'll join him right in there like that. Okay, all right. Let's get ourselves some deep blue here. And we're going to have a little fun. We're going to come out here like this, accent these guys down here. Let's get a little glycerin, moisten up that blue a little bit. We're going to color these blank, 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 and blanks. Put it in there. We're going to color that in, so we add our petals in here. We'll just darken that. Come on here. We're going to include that in there. Put him right in there. Just like that. Pop him in there like this. Okay, now that we've got that taken care of, I don't know how much blue I got left. I might need a little bit more blue for the final stage of this guy. We'll see, we'll see. I don't think I have enough blue to make a real difference. Yes, people talk to me all times of night. I'm thinking of something here. Let's have one here. Watch this. I got it out. Well, let's push him out a little further. Then I'm gonna take him and I'm gonna go like this. Go higher up still. Go higher up. Then come back down and around. Come back down, curve him. Just like that. So I have him flipped going that way. Just like that. Then I shall take a little bit of red, mix it into this blue, make it pretty dark. Try to sneak some blue in there. Might need a little glycerin to spread that out there. We're gonna come underneath this guy and accentuate those petals underneath there like that. See, it needs to be darker to show off that fold, just like that. See that? And we can kind of darken up under here. Under here, make it a little darker to show that fold off. Come out here, bring it out. We'll bring some of this, darken that up a little bit. Bring some shadow in there, like so. Now I will take my last vestiges of white and give me a nice little rim of color on top of that blue, just like that, and bring it in. And now I'm gonna, there, see, the stroke direction is very important. All right, Bring them right around, curve them around and kind of get that in. Bring it, swoop them right in there like that. Yeah, that's cool, that'll work. Don't know if I have enough to correct that. Come out here, push, redirection. I'm just cleaning this up a little bit more. Smooth it out, clean it up, clean it up, clean it up a little bit. Just make it a little more nicer to look at there. Just like that. Okay. Let's get with some tinier petals. Would you believe I ran out of blue? This is sad. Last part of the video, no blue. We'll do what we can. We'll make something happen here. Like that. Come on the other side, do the same thing. Curl it, go higher, go back lower again. Come out here, do the same thing up here, a little higher, a little lower. Get some more of them. It's really that rim of color to help separate this stuff. Like that. More, curve them in like that. Nice rim of color there. All right. Smooth some of that out. I stuck up my brush on the other side here. Smooth some of that love out there. Smooth it out just a little bit. It is 92 degrees. That means the temperature went up outside. I'm sweating in here and I got the fan going. So I know the temperature raised outside. Got warmer outside. It was 86 degrees. It's now 92 degrees in here in the room. So it is very warm in here. All right. Last bit. Like I said, this is not a commission piece. It's just me wanting to run my mouth and talk. And you know, let you know that it's not the end of the world if someone rejects your work. It is truly not the end of the world. You will move on from it. It's kind of sad when you run out of titanium white too, but you know, I'll do the best I can here. I'd like to thank you guys for, because this is a very long video, but once again, it's just me running my mouth, talking about some things that I feel is kind of important to talk about and everything. So let's sign my name on it and I'll remove the tape. That means I can shut off. You guys technically should still be able to hear me if I do this. You'll let me know. All right. So let's bring this thing more truer to its size. Yeah, you guys should be able to hear me, even if I take my mug off. I shouldn't need to take my mug off. I think you guys can see that quite fine without me taking the bottom camera off. I'm just gonna sign my name on it here real quick. believe I ran out of titanium white. So I'm really reaching for the bottom of the barrel here, trying to get some color just for a signature. Sad. There we go. Obviously I don't have a frame this size, but we'll just take the tape off here, see what we got. Let's destroy this. We don't need this anymore. Man, it is warm. Yes, information. Oh, okay. Well, you're welcome. Did that tear freak you guys out? It did me. There you go. All right, there it is. Like I said, you don't really see a lot of the detail of it because of the glare of the light, as you can see by this spot right here. But as you know, a little later on, I'll take it won't be tonight. I'll take a picture of it tomorrow, where a lot of the glycerin will have evaporated. I'll take a pretty decent shot of it and post it along with the many others. This is an extremely long video. Took a little more time with these guys, but it was an important subject I felt that I had to talk about. So I don't know if anybody will endure a video this long. We'll see. I mean, pack a lunch for this one. But guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you for staying up with me. I shall see you guys when I see you. So, and until next time.